transgression of man. Now the time comes to sit down and rediscover what's life. Show the world the true meaning of real love, power, not strife. Must bow. Unity is the banner, so come together. I say, and this love is for freedom, it's growing stronger each day. Bring down the power of love, I say. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Love to heal a nation. So rejoice in a rhythm of celebration. Come on, lift your voice with a feeling of satisfaction as one. And let we move with a purpose, all freedom lovers. Hold tight, stepping out of the darkness with one direction inside.
Ashe, and welcome again to the Anu Asafo Show, where Pan-Africanism meets African spiritual traditions. I'm your host, Brother Wole Mango Ifa, and along with my team, Sister Omilade, as usual. And this week, our usual co-host, Brother Damien, is with us, and we are all excited because we are quite blessed today. We are doing its last show of the month, so we're doing our usual spotlight of an Infundi student, and we also have in the second segment one of our senior priestesses, Oloya Fayomi Falade Aworeni Obafemi, who is the chief priest of the Iwosan Orunmila Mimo Temple in Phoenix, Arizona. And she's going to be here talking to us in the studio about, leading a congregation, if you will, of an ancient tradition in a New World context. She's going to be talking to us about the pivotal and unique role of the sisters. And also she's going to talk to us about some of her spiritual background. And as you may not know, she was initiated, and one of her major initiations was in Ife. And that's where she gets the name Aworeni. But we will see what we can learn about those things and a whole bunch more. And but before we get to that, let me welcome my co-host, Brother Damien. How you doing this week, Brother Damien?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm feeling upbeat. I think this Morena I'm taking is actually working. But
it's feeling pretty festive myself. It's a beautiful day outside, so
excellent. The weather is great down here in New Orleans. Well, over 80 degrees, and we are in our second day of the Jazz and Heritage Festival, the first weekend of our 3-weekend event. So we're all excited about that. Sister Orunmila, are you around?
I'm here. How are you doing, Oloya?
Excellent. It's great to hear your voice again. We are pleased. We're going to have a full package of Sister Tamu's the health program, health health segment. Please tell us a little bit about it.
So today we do have another segment by Tamu, Your Vital Energy. She is one of our Mfundi, and she does energy and healing and meditation work. So we're going to, right now, get into that, and then we'll come back with our guest for the show.
Sounds pretty good. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Peace and welcome. Thank you for joining me, your host, Tamu and Gina, for another episode of Your Vital Energy. Before we begin, I would like to thank saduluhouse.org and anunation.org for inviting me to share this segment with you, Your Vital Energy. Once again, I will say welcome to spring. Welcome to the glorious, bright sunshine, warming weather, and the ability to be outside and enjoy Mother Nature and the ground beneath your feet, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, that is. Today's episode segment, I would like to share with you the importance of meditation. Meditation is a wonderful and extremely accessible venue for all sorts of people to endeavor in. I will share some practices with you from Buddhist meditation, which is my tradition. And I will give you a definition of meditation from shambhala.org/meditation. From their website, the definition of meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is a natural state of the human mind, at rest, open, alert. The basic meditation technique predates all religious tradition, though it is used in one way or another by each of them. Undertaken as a steady practice, meditation allows the mind to relax and settle. It encourages our inherent qualities of stability, clarity, and mental strength to emerge. I will also share with you my own write-up on meditation, one which I share with my students or clients. Meditation is contemplation and awareness of breath and of the present moment in the center within you. Meditation can help one to achieve internal peace, even if there is chaos all around. A consistent meditation practice allows one to bring balance to his or her life and the ability to walk through stressful moments with minimal after effects. Meditation helps you to get beyond your conditioned way of thinking and brings you into a state of greater and deeper awareness. One state of awareness is that you are absolutely okay no matter what is happening in your life. What are some side effects, or what would be the word I would choose? What are some benefits of meditation, of adding a regular meditation practice to your life? Not only helping you, spiritually speaking, to be in touch with the divinity that is within your own soul, which sort of reminds me of a verse in the Bible that says, "Be still and know that I am." Some benefits of meditation. Meditation is known to help build self-confidence, improve memory, improves relationships, improves willpower, increase creativity. It also helps with pain management. It improves concentration, increases vitality and rejuvenation, increases your ability to relax, relieves stress, boosts mental stamina, and improves temperament. And out of all of these, one of the things that I really appreciated and like and have understood about meditation is that the ability to help improve relationships. So you might ask, how does that work? How can meditation, something that you do totally on your own, not involving another person, how does it help to improve your relationship? Well, my answer for that, and from my own experience, is that meditation can help to improve relationships because insight meditation focusing on allowing your mind to rest, to let go of your preconditioned thinking and preconditioned way of seeing the world or way of seeing yourself or the way you interact with the world. The Vipassana meditation, insight meditation, allows you to see things as they really are. And one of the things you come to understand through meditation is the impermanence of life. Understanding that whatever situation that you're in, this too will pass, whether you're upset or angry or even joyous or happy. These are all fleeting moments. And meditation, calming meditation, shamatha meditation, which is translated as peaceful abiding, helps you to relax, let go, and to strengthen your mind, to understand that even though you're angry, the anger is not you. Your natural state is peace and calm, and you naturally come to understand that whatever argument you're dealing with or situation that you're in, this is not your permanent way of being, so you're going to be less likely to cling to every single moment that's stressing you out. You're going to develop a strength of mind and an understanding and a center of calmness that's going to allow you to more easily breeze through whatever situation you're dealing with, or to allow you to let go of that situation and not cling to every emotion that's in that situation. And while you're meditating and you're resting in your own center within, that carries, and most importantly, when you allow that to become a daily practice, and you'll be able to understand and naturally attune to the person that you're dealing with at the moment, and realize that, this is not a permanent state of being. It's okay. This person has their own way of doing things and their own way of seeing things, and it's not a threat to you. So that is a way in which meditation can help to improve your relationships with others as well as with yourself. There are 3 meditation practices. There's sitting meditation, walking meditation, and also daily activities. So sitting meditation, the primary focus is on the elements of the body, while switching to the other spheres of attention as they arise. In other words, as you're sitting there, and one of the things that I focus on and what I share with my clients or students, when you're sitting meditation, you're sitting in such a way that your spine and your head are in alignment. Your hips are slightly above your knees. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your arms might be on your laps or on your lap or sort of on your thighs, and your shoulders are back and relaxed. And you're focused on your breath. Now, you're not forcing yourself to breathe, but you're inhaling and exhaling naturally as it arises, and your primary focus can be first on your breath coming in and out of your body. And at other times, you might notice that you have an itch, or you might need to readjust yourself. And while you're in this meditation position or posture or stance, your eyes can be closed, which sometimes can cause sort of like a stress on you because you're focusing on trying to keep your eyes closed, where your eyes can be your gaze slightly down and directed a meter or 2 in front of you, but your eyes are relaxed, and they can be closed or they can be slightly open and having a single point of focus, so you're not focusing in on this or that or watching anything in particular, but you're just allowing yourself to rest on the sensations as they arise in your body. And as you're focusing on your breath, that monkey mind kicks in. Monkey mind is a term used in the Buddhist meditation world or meditation world at large, is that, your thoughts are constantly in motion. They're constantly in motion. And in sitting meditation, you're not going to stress about that. You're not going to think, oh, my mind is stressing, my mind is on this and that thought. You allow those thoughts to arise. And as you inhale and exhale, you're focusing on your breath, and then you begin to realize, oh, that thought is drifted away, a new thought arises, but that's okay. You just center yourself back on your breath, and as if that thought arises, thoughts are going to come and go, and that's okay. And just allow those thoughts to come in and out. If there's a particular issue or problem that you might be dealing with in your life, that thought or problem might arise in your mind. And as that problem or thought arises, the point is you don't dwell on it, you don't cling to it, you allow it to arise, you keep your focus on your breath. And one of the wonderful things that might happen as you're meditating, a solution might pop into your mind, or a creative idea might pop into your mind, and that's okay. Another form of meditation is walking meditation. Walking meditation is where the stepping or foot movements in walking are noted in detail, and the attention is focused on the movement as the primary object. So as you're walking meditation, your gaze is not necessarily all around you and you're focusing on this tree or that chair or the picture on the wall or the car driving down the street. You're focusing on my right foot is landing on the floor, on the ground. My left foot is thereafter. And then you're sort of concentrating as you're inhaling and exhaling. You're concentrating on each step that you're taking. And you're purposely and with attention picking up the foot, landing the foot, whether you do ball to heel or heel to ball of foot. That is walking meditation. And there's another form of meditation, which is daily activities. And that is where the meditator continually labels body movements and actions. For instance, such a mundane exercise such as washing the dishes, which can be a mundane experience, or it can be a spiritual experience because you need to wash the dishes. So, in this form of meditation, you're turning on the water faucet. I am now adding the dishwashing liquid. I am now allowing the water to fill up the wash bin. I am taking the dish rag and washing this plate. I am wiping this plate front. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, I am washing this plate on the back. I am rinsing this plate front and back. I am putting this plate in the dish bin, the dish rack. Now you're not necessarily mentally or verbally stating this out loud or even in your mind. You're just following your body doing the actions. And you're focusing on those actions of what you're doing rather than, oh God, I hate doing the dishes. This is a horrible chore. I can't stand doing this. But as you begin to meditate while you're doing the dishes or while you're cleaning the bathroom or while you're cooking dinner, you're allowing your body and your mind and your spirit and your soul to come into, and your heart, most importantly, your mind and your heart, to come into this unification of mind, heart, and body, or mind, spirit, and body. It's becoming one in its movements. And you begin to realize that before you know it, it's over. And you've become calmer, and you've become more centered, and you've become more focused. And when you have a daily practice of rather sitting meditation, or when it's beautiful outside, going for a 20-minute walk and allowing that to be a walking meditation where you're focusing on your breath and you're focusing on the steps and you're focusing on the movement of your body, and as well as having a daily activities meditation, you'll begin to notice that you become calmer in your life. And the people around you will notice the difference in you as well. And you'll also notice that you'll have more energy because we don't necessarily realize that stressing and worrying about things, even though it's a completely mental activity, it exerts a lot of energy. Stressing and worrying and constantly thinking about things that give us stress and worry, or, whether it's our teenagers acting up or how we're going to pay this month's bill, or stressing about grad school or whatever exam we're going to take, or dealing with this person or that person. It takes more energy to stress about something than labor in the yard or laboring, building a house. It really sucks your vital energy. So on that note, I wish you well on your meditation excursion and allowing yourself to bring it into more of a daily practice. I will give you a website to visit that can help you get started, that will have some videos on meditation to help you. Shambhala.org/meditation. Shambhala is spelled SHAMBALA. M as in Mary, B as in boy, HALA.org/meditation, MEDITATION. Thank you for joining me, your host, Tamu Ngina, for another segment of Your Vital Energy. You can find me online at tamungina.com. That's TAM as in Mary, U, N as in Nancy, GIN as in Nancy, A.com. And also on my Facebook page, facebook.com/mendsoul. Mend, MENDSOUL. And that's M as in Mary. Peace.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back. That was a segment by our own Mfundi, Tamu Ngina. The current time is now 1:30. It's half past the hour, and you are listening to Anu Asafo. I am your host, Oloya, with your host, Wole and Damon. I just wanted to make a quick announcement before we went into our next segment. So, for all of you guys on the East Coast, in the middle of May, around May 15th or before, our Chief Jegna, Yuya Asan Anu, will be traveling down the East Coast again. So he's going all the way down from New York to Florida. So for all of you who are in those areas, and you would like to receive a reading or a spiritual consultation or have spiritual work done, you can go to seduluhouse.org or huruasan.com or even Enlightenment and Transformation, and just leave us a note and let us know if you would like work done during that time and if you're in the area, because there are several things that we offer. So offerings help with shrines and altars, feeding them, refreshing them, iboris, the head cleansing, anything with your children and mates. So just leave a note on any of those sites and let us know where you're at and what you would like done, and we will get back to you to schedule, any work that you would like done. All right, so I'm going to welcome back our host for our next segment. Wole?
Sister Omilade, thanks for letting us know about those opportunities that the Jegna will be presenting. His readings are always fantastic, and it's great to know he's offering other services too. So that's always fantastic. I want to thank Sister Tamu once again for her Your Vital Energy segment. Apologize for flopping the name of it that first time, but that was very excellent, and we are looking forward to her next installment next week. Brother Damien, how you doing?
I'm here. I'm great. Excited about the next segment.
Okay, please tell us about it.
Okay, well, the next segment is the Mfundi segment, which it's a student conversation about what we've been going through in the spiritual order, the training that the Chief Jegna put together. And so this week we have Hope Isabel as our Mfundi guest. Hope, are you on the line with us?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hey, how are you, sister?
Very well. Alafia Damon, thank you for welcoming me onto the show.
Well, thank you for being here. I know it's pretty early for you, and thank you for being so gracious. So, what is it, 10 o'clock your time?
Yeah, 10:30.
Oh, I'm sorry to wake you up so early. Well, let's just get right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Hope.
Well, I am a practitioner of several different systems. I also teach kids and drumming. One of my main activities is West African drumming. So a combination of a whole lot of things, as well as helping people get events out for music. So I'm very much involved in the Latin rock music world out here on the West Coast.
Okay. So I think you said you practice different indigenous systems?
Yes, I actually consider myself a Gnostic, which means that I follow many different systems. Some of those include, I studied Dagara from Burkina Faso. That's some of Malidoma Some's work. I have also studied Ifa with people out here, as well as Hassan. And then I follow Native American practices, which are quite prevalent out here on the West Coast, as well as I'm a Muslim practitioner.
Wow, that is eclectic. That's a great mix. Well, let me ask you this.
It's got an overarching name called Gnosticism.
Well, let me ask you this. Since when you got an introduction to Chief Jegna and you started to look at the system or became a part of the training, did you have any anticipation about what it would be like?
A little bit, and it kind of goes along with what I was anticipating. I was looking forward to a series of exercises to help me better work on my own stuff, as well as to gain a better understanding of the Ifa system and the study of the Orisha.
Was there any, and for the people who don't know, who aren't in the training, our training is the best of all worlds, as our teacher put it together. And so it doesn't follow one single traditional system, but it's several exercises that are put together to bring the best out of you. So on that point, Hope, what were some of the training lessons that kind of touched you the most, I guess, or had a big influence on you?
Well, I would say that I'm really enjoying revisiting some of my past spiritual understandings. So as far as some of the exercises, the one with the elemental circle was very rewarding, partly because it allowed me to go back and revisit some things that I had done with Western occult science like almost 10 years ago, and I had kind of left it of maybe getting myself a little in trouble by doing things I wasn't quite aware of what I was doing at the time, and luckily I got through that period of my life and then a little bit left it behind, but doing this elemental circle helped me to put things into perspective as understanding where I've come from, and also that because I did that work with my mind, especially with the Keys of Solomon, and also through Yuya's lecture that was associated with that, I really made peace with my past. So that was a very, very rewarding exercise that I've done in relation to this work. Okay.
That's interesting. Let me ask you this, and I know I found when I trained and started to learn different spiritual systems, well, just during on the historical side, and began to learn about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, there were conflicts, and there were internal conflicts that I had to get over. So do you find any conflicts in the systems that you studied, since you're kind of eclectic? So And how did you reconcile some of those conflicts, if you did?
Yeah, thank you for asking. That's a fascinating question. I would say that those kind of conflicts that I might have come up against, I've kind of resolved through them now, because the challenge was saying, well, wait a minute, if Islam sees Christ in this way and the Christians see him this way and the Jews see him that way, how do I gain an understanding of how all those different pieces can be looking at the same thing? And so from studying it in many different ways, it's taught me to come to terms with understanding that all of those really have to do with one's inner evolution. And so it allowed me to look at how I relate to those studies and what part of myself is evolving. So I was able, therefore, to look at it more from an individual standpoint than outside of myself, and it helped me make peace with all of that.
Okay. That's pretty good. Are there? I guess the question would be more. Are there any? Because it seems. I mean, you seems like you've been studying for a while too. I mean, you're not new to this, so and you've been around. So, are there any European systems that you're studying or have studied in the past?
Well, what I call the Western occult philosophy kind of does come out of Europe. Also, one thing that I consider a very important part of my study is Rudolf Steiner's work in anthropopathy. Rudolf Steiner was a German, I guess we could call him a philosopher today, who founded a lot of different theories that affect us still. He's part of the Waldorf school system, and a lot of his teachings got used also by farmers, for example. He created a technique called biodynamics. So Rudolf Steiner is definitely part of my understanding of the greater whole. And I would say, if I may continue, that as far as working the course and everyone at ANU has been really rewarding, not only for giving me a stronger sense of community of people doing similar things around me, but also discovering in myself a better understanding of the microcosm and the macrocosm and how I relate to the world at large.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. You just touched on something. I want to jump on it. So and you just said that you found your way in several systems and how you fit into those systems. But you said something about being an individual. So I guess the question more so is kind of, how do you become a member or have family in these studies, but you've moved through the studies? If you get that question, kind of how do you have a family in Islam when you take an Islam training and then you kind of move out of Islam into Judaism, and then you study there for a little while, and then you move on?
I think it has to do with participating in that community and studying the rites and rituals that go along with it at that time. And if and when I move on from there, it's not like I'm leaving anything behind, because I've integrated it as part of myself. So just like we evolve through certain phases of work or people that are around us in our life and then we move on, I think it has several angles to this, one being how our vibrational field evolves and the things that we attract to us with those vibrations, and another being that when we surround ourselves with certain ideas and certain people, that's what is going to come to us. And then when we focus on another aspect or topic, that other part will often come around us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of see it like schools of thought. At a certain point, it may be necessary for you to have a certain school of thought. My school of thought your school of thought at 15 is totally different than where you are today. And you may need to take a new approach, a new path. So no, I get it. I get it totally. All right. Is there are there any other pieces of the training that really stood out to you, or that you like to touch upon that you just got into it and you just said, "Oh my gosh, what in the world?"
I would say that the parts that I'm really appreciating is, first of all, the depth of the information that's available. What I wasn't expecting and I'm really thrilled about is all the different lectures that Iya has done. And so I was able to revisit my understanding of the Orisha on several different levels. So just having a ability to get that information is so important because it's out there, but it takes a lot of research. And he's really centralized things in in specific areas. That, coupled with the Facebook group of interacting with people and helping us to grow with each other, has been beyond rewarding. I so did not expect to suddenly find myself part of another community, and that has really impacted me in a great way. I'm very much appreciating being a part of that and all the different pieces that are available.
Great. Well, we're going to be wrapping it up now, and I really appreciate your time, getting up early and participating in the show and telling us about your travels, your spiritual travels, and your travels in the order. And we really do appreciate it. And I'm going to turn it back over to Brother Wole, if you're still on the line, sir.
Yes, I am. And thank you too, Sister Isabel. You explained your position very well. So you represented the Mfundi very well. Brother Damon, you did a great job as usual. And I'm looking forward to your help in the next segment when we will be coming back with the Oloya of the temple, the Phoenix, Arizona temple, Iwosan Orunmila Mimo temple. And we're all looking forward to that. But we want to remind everybody to please, if you haven't done so already, remember to click the blue follow button under the title Anu Asafo right here on the Facebook page. By doing so, you will get automatic prompts for the shows that are, a 90-minute prompt, and I think you get a 15-minute prompt. And if there are any informations about coming events or what have you, you'll be able to get that information directly. So please click the follow button. And when we come back from this, we will be talking to Oloya Fayomi Falade Aworeni Obafemi, the chief priestess of the Iwosan Orunmila Mimo Temple in Phoenix, Arizona. But first, this message.
Please join us as the Sadulu House Spiritual Center exhibits at the Mind, Body, and Spirit Expo, which is the largest holistic and spiritual expo in the tri-state area, on May 2nd through May 4th at the Garden State Exhibit Center in Somerset, New Jersey, located at 50 Somerset Drive in Somerset, New Jersey. At this 3-day event, you will have access to national and international exhibitors and speakers, including our very own master teacher, author, spiritual guide, and chief Jegna of the Sadulu House Spiritual Center, H. Yuya Asan Anu. Iwosan will take participants of the lecture through various steps which will attune each individual in attendance to their own unique genius, source frequency, and improve the quality of their life. The lecture will take place Saturday, May 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the room General 2 at the Garden State Exhibit Center, and it is free to attend this lecture. Please visit www.mindbodyspiritexpo.com and click the link for speakers and lectures for more information. We also urge you to check out the exhibition at the Mind, Body, and Soul Expo, as the Sadulu House Spiritual Center will be exhibiting its products and services all 3 days. The Sadulu House Spiritual Center exhibition booth will include discounted classes, spiritual consultations, spiritual tools and divination supplies, books, DVDs, and more. Our booth location number is A10A. If you decide to come to the expo, you will also have access to free lectures, 3 days of free yoga classes, workshops, natural products, holistic health products, live entertainment, including music, drumming, chanting, and more. The Mind, Body, and Spirit Expo is May 2nd from 4 to 9 p.m., May 3rd from 10 to 8 p.m., May 4th from 10 to 6 p.m., and is located at the Garden State Exhibition Center at 50 Atrium Drive, Somerset, New Jersey, 08873. The cost is $5 to enter on Friday and $15 to enter on Saturday and Sunday. There are discounts available. So for more details and to RSVP for the exhibition and lecture, please visit www.meetup.com/African-spirit-workers. See you there.
Fantastic. It is 8 minutes to the hour, and you're back with the Anu Asafo Show, where Pan-Africanism meets African traditional spirituality, with your host, Brother Wole Mango Ifa, my co-host this week's, and then Brother Damon, and of course Sister Orunmila Day, rounding out the crew. And this week in the studio, we're very pleased and happy and honored to have the chief priestess of the Iwosan Orunmila Mimo Temple in Phoenix, Arizona, and that's the Oloya Fayomi Falade Obafemi. Oloya, are you there? Okay, we want to make sure that that the phones and the mics are unmuted, and we want to welcome the Oloya to the Anu Asafo Show this week. We're looking so forward. Let me give you a little more information on her, but I won't be trying to talk to. She is the expert on herself, her experiences, and we can't wait to get her on the line to tell us about it. But she hails from Chicago, although now she's based in Phoenix, Arizona, and a graduate of Calumet High School and Columbia College in Chicago, and she is also doing graduate work right now. She already has a master's in clinical mental health counseling, and and that's in psychology, and she is a long-term, I should rephrase that. Let's say she's worked for the United States Bureau of Prisons for many years. Don't want to say she's a long-term member of the prison system. But, Oloya, are you there?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that sounds like you. First, I want to ask you, how should I refer to you? We are a student show. We want to make sure that we follow protocol.
Well, Oloya is the title. Most people that are in my organization, Temple, Godchildren, all call me Yeye. People who love me call me Yeye. For the best part, you can always just say Iya. Yeah, but I am a chief priest, so.
Well, if I called you Oloya, that would you respect and love at the same time, huh?
Yeah, I can take that.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Anua Safo first, and I want to start. I haven't done your background any justice. Please, would you start off by telling us a little bit about how you got into this spiritual walk into your life, and then we'll delve deeper and deeper as we go. And please take your time.
Okay. I started out in the tradition of Ifa and Orisa when I was a kid. I was about 14 years old and living on the south side of Chicago. What I followed was the sound of the drums playing in the neighborhood. It was during the very turbulent 60s, and just prior to the death of Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and just hearing the sound of the drums just got my attention. So following that, and that was actually up to date 49 years ago. So I've been in this practice since I was 13 and a half, 14 years old. So it started there, and there was a little temple on 31st of South Park called Ife, and it was ran at that time by Ibaratunu, Chief Ajamu, as well as Chief Metahochi, and a wonderful puppeteer, African puppeteer named Alabi. And they had worship services then for people in the neighborhood. So as I'm following the sound of the drums and trying to find out where this is coming from, because I love to dance, I got to this doorway, and in front of the doorway was a black rooster hanging upside down, swinging, and I wasn't scared. I felt at home. And I looked inside, and there were people dancing and just enjoying the moment and the music, and I went in. And that's where my spiritual journey started with African traditional religions. Prior to that time, I had been raised as a Christian, like many African Americans in the country. But I was not satisfied with that. It couldn't explain my spiritual sight, my giftedness in being able to see things before they happened. And in many instances, it pushed me away. And I looked for something innately that was like me. The imagery didn't look like me in terms of the deities. And so I wanted something that resonated more with me, and this is the way that I was thinking as a child. That's the kind of kid I was. Ashe.
And speaking of Ife and continuing in this realm of your spiritual background, you've had a number of initiations.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. One of the ones that is, caught my attention so much was the one in Ile-Ife, Nigeria, in Yoruba land in Nigeria. I've visited your Facebook site, and I took photos of the Araba Abaye, our top Awo of the world. He has visited your temple. That's quite
no, he hasn't visited. He hasn't visited me here in Phoenix. I've gone there, and for the most part, his visits here in the United States have been to two places, and that was at the Alode Shangobukola Ibaratunu in Williamstown, New Jersey, and Chief Aluko down in Miami. Other than that, the Arba has gone from Trinidad into Brazil, Uruguay, Peru, Venezuela. So he's got godchildren all over the world. But my lineage is from Fayomi Falade in Los Angeles, California, at Ifa Orunmila. From there, our family lineage is the Omipadiola family from the Fasuya Omipadiola, who was the previous Arba prior to Mokanranwale. Mokanranwale, because of me going back and forth to Ife, it adopted me into the family, and I have the name with Awo Agbaye. Because of that, and the Awo Agbaye clan, or the Awo Agbaye Ebi, had been established with that, and that was galvanizing, as all the children that have either been initiated out of his house. 2 and 3 generations of us are now in existence since the early 80s. So this is a long-standing relationship that we've all had with Ife over the years, and it is a great relationship in that this is where the source of Ifa stems from. This is where it all started 12,000 years ago. And to be able to stand in that and to worship at Oke Tashe, where my ancestors worshipped, has been more than enlightening. It has been the culmination of everything that I have ever wanted in my lifetime, was to be able to stand where Orunmila first landed and the Orunmila first prayed. And I think that there's nothing more gratifying than that.
Ashe, and we are very proud and honored for you. And just recently, a long time, one of the major things, major themes or threads of, some might even use the word controversy, has been the role of women in the Ifa Orisa Isheshe tradition, or Isheshe, which is tradition.
It is tradition, yeah.
Yeah, and you are you're quite a woman, and you're an American. You're an African here in America. You are a chief. You are a chief priest of an Ile. You're leading it here in America, but teaching a very ancient tradition to very contemporary Americans, and even with a little cherry on top, you're in the great state of Arizona, which is known as a political hotbed today.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially around the issues of race and culture. How is
what
that?
What better place to be? I would say, what better place to be? With all the spiritual vortexes here, and on top of that being a state where not only cultural understanding is at a limited minimum from those that are in positions of power, I think that this is the best place to be when you have that type of energy that needs to be addressed. We have to address African traditional religions in this country in a wider spectrum than we have. And what better place than to be in a place that really is so typically against it, culturally against it. So it's to be able to stand firmly and say, this is who we are, and we do not apologize. This is who we are. We love who we are, and whether you like it or not, this is what we do, and we don't worry or care about your acceptance. We are, and so I think that's a better position for what I do here, because then again, it also helps others who see our position realize that they don't have to hide this tradition anymore, and that they don't have to apologize for being African and to worshiping deities that are reflective and representative of who they are and who are absolutely powerful and empowering. So this is, to me, the best place to be for now. Yeah. I just came back from Miami, and I'm really thinking about moving down there, too.
Yeah, the weather is quite different than what you experience in the Southwest, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It's dry here. It's hot. We get up to 125 or better. But it's very dry heat. There's no humidity. So this is truly the desert. It was wonderful to have water around.
I can imagine. Kind of, although I live in southern Louisiana, and it's a swamp down here. Well, it's a bayou down here, so I never have problems for lack of water.
Oh, absolutely.
Brother Wole, let me jump in here for a second. And
please,
with a question. Just wanted to say hello, Yeye. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, son?
I'm great. And I don't need you to talk about Miami because I was not there and my heart aches. So, and I hated you for all the pictures you were putting up on the beach and yeah, I was really upset. So,
don't be. I was trying to live life for everybody, okay?
We'll take that. I was living through you. So.
Thank you.
Okay. But I did want to ask a question. I did want to ask you a question about leadership in, kind of female leadership amongst, the tradition, and especially since you're here, you're in Phoenix, and, an African traditional system and men leadership, and that whole dichotomy, of men should be leaders. So I guess the question is, do you see a lot of maybe sexist men or men who just don't understand that leadership?
I think that we're running up against several kind of not just dichotomy, but we're running up against cultural understandings. Okay, cultural from the homeland of Yoruba land, Naija, cultural understandings from an African American or the African diaspora, male-female relationships. There are things that we still have to adjust. There's still things that we still have conversations on. Also, you have to look at the world narrative that we're accepting as who we are when we should not, versus how our individual narrative is. What are we telling ourselves? First and foremost, we also have to look at, as a tradition, this is about a binary system that has balance. It has male-female balance. You have Iyanifas who have been practicing Ifa from the beginning of time. The first Iyanifa was Orunmila's daughter. Okay? He had twin daughters, son and a daughter, who were twins out of Fumilayo. So you have this, he was teaching, Orunmila himself, his firstborn children, a daughter, he was teaching her Ifa. So people have to start also beginning to understand leadership is not an issue of one being better than the other, but getting the job done. Can we get the job done? Yoruba tradition, Isheshe, is communal. The diaspora has been raised in a individualistic society, I-me society. African culture is not I-based. It's communal. So it doesn't work from everybody has a role, and the roles that are being played help toward the greater society. This is what we actually have to look at. So what I think that is frustrating is that when people in the diaspora, men and women, but particularly some men, and it's not all men, but some men, who are already in threatening positions, see a woman who comes up the ranks, because I'm coming up the ranks from the time I was a kid up into this position. It wasn't something that somebody gave me. I earned it. So you have that, and it becomes, it can be frightening that, well, where the hell did she come from? What? You know what I mean? What did she do? She's sitting here, she's chanting Ifa, she's doing everything I do, and it becomes a frightening position because then other things come into play when just dialogue and understanding that our father, Orunmila, brought this about. It's been there. There's from Abiye Awo Odus, Aturpa Meji, Abar Bogbe. There's so many Odus that reflect women who were diviners. Most times, if people would understand the linguistic characteristics of Odu and what those Odus mean, the names and other things, they'll find that it might be a feminine name, and it was that Babalawo, that priest that was chanting in that Odu or being mentioned in that Odu was not necessarily a male but a woman. It's understanding that also Odu Ifa is historical markers, and it reflects different power surges and power positions that talk about the onset of power from women and the onset of power from men and their struggles with each other, eventually to come together and have to no longer struggle but learn how to live with each other in the way that Ifa wanted us to live. And we're still doing that. So I think that understanding leadership along the way is that we understand Ifa and actually what Orunmila wanted us to do, and the Orisha themselves want us to really do, is as where are we going to take this religion and what are we going to pass it on as a heritage and a legacy for our children? Because ultimately we're not going to be here forever. So who do we pass it on to? Are we training our children? What are we doing in terms of our families? See, we have to get past the true leadership is getting past the isms and the problems and going to finding the solutions to the problems and moving on so that we can take this 7 generations to the next generations and be the religion that I think that is going to be. It's not, and let me take the word religion back, the way of life, because this isn't a religion. It is a way of life, and it's our way of life.
I say. I'll ask this next question by framing it kind of. The next one I'm gonna frame myself. Now, as I learn a tradition, and you know where I am learning it, I have to. And you spoke to it when you said power surges, because as I learned the history, there were times when the ladies ruled, then there were times when the men ruled, in that in that balance. And so I noticed when I came in, I was framing what women should do, what men should do, by just my feeble attempt at understanding from a diasporic point of view, and then outside of that, just my own messed up way of life, from what I was taught from my parents and grandparents. And when you start to strip and clean all that up, so the question is, do you find yourself educating a lot of your temple members on on what we do as a culture, men and women, and they're both positions of power?
Oh, absolutely. I think that every opportunity as a priest, and whether you're a priest or not, that as you learn, the best way to really understand and learn is to teach what you know. And what I find is that I have to bring in cultural dynamics, helping people to understand the nuances that culture plays in the role of living itself, in human development, in our relationship to each other. Everything has a culture. So because of that, the understanding what is taking place with people in general, many times because of the way that we are raised, people do not have an understanding of another individual. And then when you start to put on different avenues of religious understandings or racial understandings, you run again into different delineations of culture. So we have to start learning how to do cultural immersions to better understand each other. And this is what I bring to the table when I start talking with my people from the perspective of an organization and from perspective of just being a counselor, because for me, it's a great place to help people to have a better understanding of the self and how to heal the self. Because ultimately, this is what we're trying to do as a tradition, is to heal the body of the people, heal the mind of the people, and ultimately the spirit of the people, because that's what's important. We have to also consider, in looking at Egungun, we have to consider healing those disparities, those different issues that we have and have had, or our parents and our great-grandparents have had. We have to heal those things in order for us to move forward. And when you have that healing, then you're able to change how you think. A large portion of what I believe we must do is change the context of and the forms of how we think, because what we think is ultimately what we present to each other and to the world. We have so many things, and this is the beauty of Ifa and Orisa, is the fact that we actually have a mechanism that can start metaphysically and spiritually to change the context of how our ancestors processed things and passed that on. We have that ability to do that, and then in the same way of being, change how we present to our own children, grandchildren, and for me, great-grandchildren.
Ashe. And continuing on this theme of leadership, and, not trying to belabor the gender point, but doing the notion of leadership, there are a number of societies that are female-headed, female-orientated, and the question is, do you think that the role of Western feminism in the minds of many of the sisters who are in the tradition influences how they try to exert their influence, as opposed to some of the traditional ways that a lot of the sisters have exerted their influence through the Gallaudet Society and some of the others?
Okay, first and foremost, Gallaudet is a system of, we have to look at it as actually male. Men dance Gala Day just like men dance Egungun. But Gala Day is men honoring the feminine energy and being able to appease that energy because of who we are. We're the birthing canal. We're the giant womb. Okay? So through us, through women, you have birth. Okay? So that's just to get that clear about Gala Day. The other aspect of that is that when bringing feminism is a Western concept. How do you exert your power, period, okay? For me, as a woman, I'm just who I am. I don't have to don any other kind of other power notions for people to know that I am strong, intelligent, caring, and a beautiful woman. That's who I am. And I embrace that. When we embrace who we are and know who we are, we don't have to use any other kind of mechanisms to make somebody understand who we are. They either accept it or they don't. If they don't, move on. The longer we have to justify our positions, the longer people are going to question your position. So for me, I don't have to tell anybody that I am female. I don't have to tell anyone or exert or fight for that position because that's of power, because I'm going to take mine. If it's mine to have, I'm going to have it. I don't have to be in a position to fight that kind of discrimination. I've been doing that for too long. So when we get to a place where it's not just for power, it's for anything that we do. We get it. We're using, I think feminism can at sometimes be an outworn tool, just like marching. It was a tool in order to promote an issue that needed to be addressed. So now we don't need that tool to promote who we are. And that's what I look at it as. Because, one, I'm not a feminist. Mm-hmm. I'm a mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. Okay? I'm a chief priest, yes. No. I'm a female priest in what had been tutored as a male dominant. And if anybody ever looked at anything historically, they'll look at the anthropological books and see that it was not written in our history, but it was written and translated for someone else's history and for someone else to say or to define us. They didn't look for who was the Yanifa. Yanifa was always there. Orisha Oke was a Yanifa. Oshun was a Yanifa. Yemoja was a Yanifa. Iyami Onsuronga, as the collective of women, were married by Orunmila. So they all divined. So they were always there. And there are other priests that are in the whole sector of history. So, and they weren't feminists. They were women doing their job. And that was to be able to protect the universe through Ifa. That's our job. That's what we do.
Ashe.
Okay.
Ashe. Oloya, we want to thank you so much for this information, the love you shared, the experience, the wisdom, the tradition, and and of course, all of the things you've given us opportunity to think about. We want to let everybody know. We know there are a number of people trying to reach out to you who are listening to the show. We didn't open up the lines, but we want to let people know how you can be contacted. In which ways would you prefer people contacting you? I know you have to
they can always. I put my number, the temple number. It has 2 numbers. We have a web page, Iwosan, Mimo.com. The phone number is 623-849-7179. They can pick up the phone and call. I'm accessible. I do DAFA. I do consultations. I teach all over the country, and I teach about Ifa. And I teach about how we as a people can utilize Ifa for our practical daily life, because that's what we're supposed to do. So that's how they can eat, any of those mediums. And I'm on Facebook, needless to say.
Yes, both by your name and by the Ile, and we'll get that information up on the Facebook page, on the Blog Talk page as well, so people can visit there. I usually ask, I got 2 burning questions and not that much time. I wanted to keep on the notion of leadership and not ask you something just about the sisters, but there are a lot of people who get initiated and they come back or automatically start calling themselves Babalawo. And it's my understanding that when people get initiated, they're just welcomed into the community, and they have access to a body of sacred knowledge. Their destiny may not be the priesthood, and even if it is, I understand at least 3 different types of priests, but there are a lot of societies. There are a lot of societies, and there are many people who are initiated who are intended to work with their Gungun society or another type of society, as opposed to feeling that they must call themselves priests and start divining for people. That's an issue. That's a big issue.
That's a bigger issue, yeah.
Yeah. But is there anything that I haven't asked you so far that you definitely want to say before we close? In these posts.
Yeah, I do. I have this burning desire, without all the politicism, because all the other things are political issues within the hierarchy. One of the things that I really want to get across to people is to worship Ifa, worship Orisa, learn how to become part of the body of worship, study Ifa, get in and understand the language, the culture, the food, those things. These are things that I look as important, because this is such a beautiful, beautiful tradition. For me to be able to dance to Shango, my father, for me to be able to sing for Orisa and to worship and to pray is the utmost expression of life, rather than the politicism that we get into about who does what, who doesn't do what, who should be, who ain't. It's about loving this tradition and loving our relationship with Olodumare, Ifa, Ori, and our Orisa and our ancestors. That's important. That is the most important. And that's the thing that I want to get across to people, that the more that we get involved on a spiritual level and understand the theological aspects of what we do, that is the most important thing that we have out here to do, is our relationship with Olodumare and Ifa. How to worship your own Ori, because that's going to empower you more than anything else, because that's the thing that followed you into the world was your head. So for us to understand those kind of things, this is the only thing that really is important, is your relationship to Ifa. Anything else is just stuff. And that's what I look at. Do you get up in the morning and pray? Okay, that to me is important, because when you have all of that, and changing how you think. When we do that and align ourselves that way, things change for us drastically, and it almost becomes miraculous. The things that'll change, the things you want, change your character. Those are important. Now, if I have good character and I'm developing that, I will always have money. I will always have a good place to stay. I will always have good children because I have good character. That's important. And you work from there. Mm-hmm.
Ashe. Thank you so much. Modupwe O. And that it was Oloya Fayomi Falade Aworeni Obafemi on the Anu Asafo show this week. We thank you all. Brother Damien, we thank you too for your service. And we would like to welcome everybody to return each week, each Sunday, to the Anu Asafo, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 noon Central Standard Time, and, of course, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we all thank you and welcome and hope you come back. We'll have a great show for you next week. And until then, take care and Odabo.
Today's Enlightenment and Transformation segment is brought to you by Audible.com. Audible.com, of course, is a leading provider of spoken audio information and entertainment. You can listen to audiobooks whenever and wherever you want. We here at the Enlightenment and Transformation Network are truly fans of Audible.com because it allows us to listen to books and devour book series. How do you think we were able to get through the Atlas Shrugged series? Audible.com. Plus, we're able to truly listen wherever we want because Audible.com is accessible by phone, tablet, laptop, etc. Audible is truly great for those on the go. Because we want you to enjoy Audible.com as much as we do, go to www.audibletrial.com/enlightenment. That is www.audibletrialnment. Here, you will get access to one free audiobook when you sign up for your trial membership. That's right, we want you to try it out for yourself. So again, go to www.audibletrial.com/enlightenment to try out Audible.com. We thank you for your listening support and urge you to become an active participating member of the Anu community. Therefore, if you would like more information on Anu events and offerings, please sign up for our newsletter at anunation.org. That is ANUNATION.org. For all those listening, if you'd like to move closer to the calculations and fundamental understandings of the Anu Order, be sure to pick up the book, Grasping the Root of Divine Power. If you desire a spiritual reading to help you map your current spiritual position in the face of the world and learn the greatest pathways for your fortune in this season, or you would like to become a student of the Anu Spiritual Order, you can go to saduluhouse.org. That is SADULUHOUSE.org. If you would like to sponsor or advertise on this or any of our other broadcasts, please contact us at 1-800-ANU-LIVING. That is 1-800-268-548464. Or email us at questions@anunation.org. That is the word questions@anunation.org. For more information about Orisha and Orisha products, you can go to orishareligion.com. That is ORISHARELIGION.com. Anu Nation thanks you for your continued support. Be well.
Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Bring down the power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Destruction is blowing over this land. And now the earth is trembling with man's oppression of man. Now the time comes to sit down and rediscover what's life. Show the world the true meaning of real love, power, not strife. Must bow. Unity is the banner, so come together. I say, and this love is for freedom, it's growing stronger each day. Bring down the power of love, I say. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Love to heal a nation. So rejoice in a rhythm of celebration. Come on. Lift your voice with a feeling of satisfaction as one. And let we move a purpose, all freedom lovers. Hold tight. Stepping out of the darkness with one direction inside. Bring down the power of love, I say. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power of hell and damnation. Love to heal a nation. Bring down the power of love, I say. The power of love, I say. Stop hell and damnation.
Ashe, Ashe, and welcome again to the Anua Safo Show, where Pan-Africanism meets African spiritual traditions. I'm your host, Brother Wole Mango Ifa, and along with my team, Sister Omilade, as usual. And this week, our usual co-host, Brother Damien, is with us, and we are all excited because we are quite blessed today. We are doing its last show of the month, so we're doing our usual spotlight of an Infundi student, and we also have in the second segment one of our senior priestesses, Oloya Fayomi Falade Aworeni Obafemi, who is the chief priest of the Iwosan Orunmila Mimo Temple in Phoenix, Arizona. And she's going to be here talking to us in the studio about, leading a congregation, if you will, of an ancient tradition in a New World context. She's going to be talking to us about the pivotal and unique role of the sisters. And also she's going to talk to us about some of her spiritual background, and as you may not know, she was initiated, and one of her major initiations was in Ife, and that's where she gets the name Aworeni. But we will see what we can learn about those things, and a whole bunch more. And but before we get to that, let me welcome my co-host, Brother Damien. How you doing this week, Brother Damien?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm feeling upbeat. I think this Morena I'm taking is actually working. But
it's feeling pretty festive myself. It's a beautiful day outside, so
excellent. The weather is great down here in New Orleans. Over 80 degrees, and we are in our second day of the Jazz and Heritage Festival, the first weekend of our 3-weekend event. So we're all excited about that. Sister Omilade, are you around?
I'm here. How are you doing, Wole?
Excellent. It's great to hear your voice again. We are pleased. We're going to have a full package of Sister Tamu's the health program, health health segment. Please tell us a little bit about it.
So today we do have another segment by Tamu, Your Vital Energy. She is one of our Mfundi, and she does energy and healing and meditation work. So we're going to, right now, get into that, and then we'll come back with our guest for the show.
Sounds pretty good. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Peace and welcome. Thank you for joining me, your host, Tamu Ngina, for another episode of Your Vital Energy. Before we begin, I would like to thank saduluhouse.org and anunation.org for inviting me to share this segment with you, Your Vital Energy. Once again, I will say welcome to spring. Welcome to the glorious, bright sunshine, warming weather, and the ability to be outside and enjoy Mother Nature and the ground beneath your feet, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, that is. Today's episode segment, I would like to share with you the importance of meditation. Meditation is a wonderful and extremely accessible venue for all sorts of people to endeavor in. I will share some practices with you from Buddhist meditation, which is my tradition. And I will give you a definition of meditation from shambhala.org/meditation. From their website, the definition of meditation. What is meditation? Not involving another person. How does it help to improve your relationship? Well, my answer for that, and from my own experience, is that meditation can help to improve relationships because insight meditation focusing on allowing your mind to rest, to let go of your preconditioned thinking and preconditioned way of seeing the world or way of seeing yourself or the way you interact with the world. Vipassana meditation, insight meditation, allows you to see things as they really are. And one of the things you come to understand through meditation is the impermanence of life. Understanding that whatever situation that you're in, this too will pass, whether you're, upset or angry or even joyous or happy. These are all fleeting moments. And meditation, calming meditation, shamatha meditation, which is translated as peaceful abiding, helps you to relax, let go, and to strengthen your mind, to understand that even though you're angry, the anger is not you. Your natural state is peace and calm, and you naturally come to understand that whatever argument you're dealing with or situation that you're in, this is not your permanent way of being, so you're going to be less likely to cling to every single moment that's stressing you out. You're going to develop a strength of mind and an understanding and a center of calmness that's going to allow you to more easily breeze through whatever situation you're dealing with, or to allow you to let go of that situation and not cling to every emotion that's in that situation. And while you're meditating and you're resting in your own center within, that carries, and most importantly, when you allow that to become a daily practice, and you'll be able to understand and naturally attune to the person that you're dealing with at the moment, and realize that, this is not a permanent state of being. It's okay. This person has their own way of doing things and their own way of seeing things, and it's not a threat to you. So that is a way in which meditation can help to improve your relationships with others as well as with yourself. There are 3 meditation practices. There's sitting meditation, walking meditation, and also daily activities. So Meditation is a natural state of the human mind, at rest, open, alert. The basic meditation technique predates all religious tradition, though it is used in one way or another by each of them. Undertaken as a steady practice, meditation allows the mind to relax and settle. It encourages our inherent qualities of stability, clarity, and mental strength to emerge. I will also share with you my own write-up on meditation, one which I share with my students or clients. Meditation is contemplation and awareness of breath and of the present moment in the center within you. Meditation can help one to achieve internal peace, even if there is chaos all around. A consistent meditation practice allows one to bring balance to his or her life and the ability to walk through stressful moments with minimal after effects. Meditation helps you to get beyond your conditioned way of thinking and brings you into a state of greater and deeper awareness. One state of awareness is that you are absolutely okay no matter what is happening in your life. What are some side effects, or what would be the word I would choose? What are some benefits of meditation, of adding a regular meditation practice to your life? Not only helping you, spiritually speaking, to be in touch with the divinity that is within your own soul, which sort of reminds me of a verse in the Bible that says, "Be still and know that I am." Some benefits of meditation. Meditation is known to help build self-confidence, improve memory, improves relationships, improves willpower, increase creativity. It also helps with pain management. It improves concentration, increases vitality and rejuvenation, increases your ability to relax, relieves stress, boosts mental stamina, and improves temperament. And out of all of these, one of the things that I really appreciated and like and have understood about meditation is that the ability to help improve relationships. So you might ask, how does that work? How can meditation, something that you do totally on your own,